The 2026 World Cup, the tournament the whole world had been waiting for. But among all the stars and legends, the Arabs had another story to tell. Players who wrote their names in golden letters and delivered performances that made the entire world stand up and applaud. But the question is, who was the best? Today, we'll reveal the top 11 Arab players at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, ranked by position. These choices are based on real performances, impact on the pitch, statistics, and ratings from global platforms. Not just big names. Get ready, because some of the choices might surprise you. We'll play with a 4-3-3 formation. We want an attacking lineup, and we want to show the world what these players can do. Every choice I make is based on my personal opinion, supported by numbers, statistics, and player ratings from worldwide sources. So, let's get started. Goalkeeper. There were many Arab goalkeepers who impressed massively during the tournament. Mahmoud Abu Nada from the Qatar national team delivered a world-class performance against Switzerland, especially when they managed to equalize in the final minute. Or Mohamed Al Owais, the Saudi national team goalkeeper, who produced a legendary performance against Uruguay, making 9 saves against them. But when choosing between them, we have to look at the best combination of quality and consistency throughout the tournament. For me, the two strongest candidates were Yassine Bounou and Mostafa Shobair, two of the best goalkeepers in the World Cup, not only among Arab players. Yassine Bounou played 6 matches, totaling 570 minutes, meaning he was on the pitch throughout the tournament. He conceded 6 goals and kept 2 clean sheets. Now let's move to our Egyptian goalkeeper, Mostafa Shobair. Mostafa Shobair had an absolutely incredible tournament and was one of the best players for the Egyptian national team. In his first ever World Cup, Shobair played 5 matches, totaling 480 minutes. He conceded 7 goals, 1 against Belgium, 1 against New Zealand, 1 against Iran, 1 against Australia, 3 against Argentina. He made 14 saves, and honestly, every single one of them could easily be included among the best saves of the tournament. He also saved 2 penalties, 1 against Mehdi Taremi in the Iran match, 1 against Lionel Messi in the Argentina match. He became one of only 3 goalkeepers in the tournament to save penalties and the only one to stop 2 penalty kicks. Both goalkeepers are elite and both had outstanding World Cups. But my choice goes to Mostafa Shobair. Based on what I watched from his performances, how much he helped the team, and the importance of his saves, he was a major reason behind the results Egypt achieved in the tournament. Moving on to the right back position, the two standout players were Mohamed Hani and Achraf Hakimi. Mohamed Hani entered the tournament after a difficult season with Al Ahly, and many Egyptians were worried about his matchup against Doku. But Hani proved that he was ready for the challenge. In big tournaments, Hani always steps up. We were all surprised by the level he showed. He basically didn't have a single bad game throughout the competition. Even though he scored 2 own goals, he still delivered a very impressive World Cup. Hani played 5 matches, totaling 480 minutes. Now let's talk about the world-class player Achraf Hakimi. Hakimi entered this tournament after a demanding season, coming in as a 2-time consecutive UEFA Champions League winner. He delivered a very good World Cup and was one of Morocco's most important players. The Moroccan captain was fully focused throughout the tournament. Hakimi played 6 matches, totaling 570 minutes. He scored a goal against Haiti, provided 3 assists, and created 16 chances for his teammates. And honestly, no disrespect to Hani, who had an incredible tournament, but Hakimi's influence as a leader, his experience, and his overall impact made the difference. So, my choice for the right back position is Achraf Hakimi. Moving to the left back position, there were many names with very close performances. Rayyan Aid-Nouri, Ahmed Fatou, and even Karim Hafez, when he came on, all had their moments and delivered good performances in certain matches. But the player who stood out because of his consistency was Noussair Mazraoui from the Moroccan national team. Mazraoui played 6 matches, totaling 477 minutes. He was always alert, focused, and extremely versatile, capable of playing in different positions. He was also the Moroccan player with the most clearances, making 34 clearances throughout the tournament. Now we move to the heart of the defense. There were many great names, including Chadi Riyad from Morocco, Yasser Ibrahim from Egypt, and Rami Bensebaini from Algeria. But in my opinion, the best defensive partnership was Rami Rabia and Issa Diop. Rami Rabia played 5 matches, totaling 368 minutes. He received 1 yellow card during the tournament and was involved in 58 ground and aerial duels. He was a huge defensive wall against every team we faced and played a major role in stopping opponents' attacks. As for Issa Diop, he played 5 matches, totaling 477 minutes. He scored 1 goal, which came against the Netherlands, and that goal was one of the biggest reasons behind their qualification. He received 1 yellow card, made 24 clearances, and completed 6 blocks. Together, Rabia and Diop formed one of the strongest defensive partnerships of the tournament. That's it. We finished the defensive line. So far, our lineup looks like this. Goalkeeper, Mostafa Shobair right back, Achraf Hakimi. Left back, Noussair Mazraoui centre backs, Issa Diop, and Rami Rabia. Now, let's move to the 3-man midfield. And this position was full of incredible names. There were many standout players like Musab Al Juwair from Saudi Arabia, Marwan Atia from Egypt, and Noor Al Rawabdeh from Jordan. But my final choices were different. We'll start with Imam Ashour. Imam was one of the highest rated players for the Egyptian national team. He played 5 5 matches, totaling 366 minutes, and scored 2 very important goals. The second name is Ayoub Bawadi, Morocco's surprise package and their youngest player. Bawadi played 5 matches, totaling 384 minutes. He received 1 yellow card and provided 1 assist. He also made history as the second youngest player to appear in a World Cup quarter-final in history, only behind the legend Pelé. The third midfielder is Ibrahim Maza. Ibrahim was the bright spot that shined for Algeria during the tournament. He played 4 matches, totaling 351 minutes, and completed 14 successful dribbles. He was the 4th highest player in successful dribbles, behind Lamine Yamal, Vinicius Jr., and Jamal Musiala. I believe our midfield is extremely energetic, creative, and full of movement. Now we move to the attacking trio. I don't think there will be much disagreement here. Many forwards had good tournaments, but these 3 were the most outstanding. And to give everyone their credit, Riyad Mahrez had a great tournament, along with Amini Gouiri, Ibrahim Diaz, Faris Chaibi, Ali Alwan, Musa Al Tamari, and Ayman Hussein. But the front 3 that stood out the most were these players. Starting with the left wing, we have the surprise of the Egyptian national team, and especially the surprise of Hossam Hassan, Mustafa Zico. Zico came from far away. Nobody expected him to make this lineup, but he proved himself and became a regular starter. He played 5 matches, totaling 375 minutes. He scored 2 goals and provided 1 assist. It could have been 3 goals, but unfortunately the referee had a different opinion. Zico became the first Egyptian player in history to score and assist in a World Cup tournament. Now for the striker position, there is almost no debate. Al Sibairi joined the national team from PSV Eindhoven, and after the tournament, he moved to Bayern Munich, proving that he was without a doubt one of the best players in the team. He played 5 matches and scored 3 goals in his first 3 consecutive matches. With that achievement, he became the first African or Asian player to score in 3 consecutive World Cup matches. He was decisive in every game and delivered whenever his team needed him. Finally, on the right wing, we have the best player in the history of Africa and Egypt's pride, Mohamed Salah. Salah entered this tournament feeling the full responsibility on his shoulders and carrying the hopes of an entire nation. This was clear from the statements of his teammates, not just from Salah himself. In this World Cup, Salah played 5 matches, totaling 450 minutes. He scored 1 goal and provided 2 assists. He was a key reason behind Egypt achieving their first ever World Cup victory in history. And that was our lineup for the best Arab 11 at the World Cup 2026. Goalkeeper, Mustafa Shobeir. Defense, right back, Akraf Hakimi. Left back, Nusair Mazraoui. Centre backs, Issa Diop and Rami Rabia. Midfield, Emam Ashur, Ayoub Bawadi, Ibrahim Maza. Attack, right wing, Mohamed Salah. Left wing, Mustafa Zico. Striker, Al Sibairi. This is our final selection for the best Arab starting 11 of the 2026 World Cup. Now, let's move to the substitutes for our best Arab 11. These players definitely couldn't be left out. As I mentioned before, the level of competition was extremely close, and sometimes the decision came down to very small details. On the bench, we have goalkeeper, Yassine Bounou. Defense, Mohamed Hani Chadi, Riyad Yasser, Ibrahim. Midfield, Nabil Bentaleb, Azadine Unahi. Attack, Musa Al Tamari, Riyad Mahrez. And of course, the man who would lead this incredible team would be Captain Hossam Hassan. I don't think anyone would be able to stop us. This was our list of the best 11 Arab players at the 2026 World Cup, a tournament that proved Arab football is no longer just about participating. It has become capable of competing with the biggest teams in the world. We saw stars who maintained their level, new talents who announced themselves on the biggest stage, and moments that will remain forever in the memories of Arab fans. And the future is still full of more names, more talent, and bigger achievements. Imagine if this entire starting 11 was gathered together with this bench supporting them.